welcome to our channel Cute Look. Today I will be explaining to you how to connect your bustier dart with the dart at the downside of your gown. So many of us make our bustier and it's not connecting well with the down part of our gown. You find out that the inner line of your bustier is 1 inch away from the down part of your bustier. That's a gown that is having a half length, or you call it a waist length. So in this video I'll be explaining to you how to achieve your bustier and also having the dart length of this side, that measurement of this side corresponding with the upside and giving you an accurate fit on your gown, be it an English gown or a native gown, where you're having a bustier dart and you need to connect it. If you're making a peplum, you don't have any connection at the downside, so if your dart is not corresponding to anyone, you don't have a problem. But once you're making any gown that you know you'll be having a dart connection, you need to connect it with the upside. That helps your work look very unique and with a perfect finishing. So in this video I have my measurements, my hip curve, my ruler, my scissors to cut out, and my tape. So with all this material here and tools, I'll be explaining to you how to manipulate your bustier dart to connect with the downside of your dart. Here I have minus my half length, which is from my shoulder to my waistline. There I have my hip length that says 25.5. It's actually 25, but I added half because I'll be joining up here. And the standard length of this gown is 36 inches, and then I add my 1.5. This 1.5 will go to the upside, and then also the remaining 1 inch I will be folding it as my hemming. Either we're using the hemming gum or we are stitching on it after weaving the bottom side of our gown. This is it. This is my half length of 16 inches, 16.5 inches. Then this is my hip length. I'll be taking my measurement to cut out this one so I can prepare this one for you. So my waist says here, this is my measurement. I have it here. My waist, since we're getting my length, which is 36.5, and the hemming, my waist says 34. Our 34 divided into 4 says 8.5. So I'll be placing it like this, and then I'll add my 1 inch dart allowance, and I'll be adding my 1 inch to sew, because I'm making an English gown. I don't need extra inches to make the side look funny or thick. Then I'll come down to my hip. My hip says 44 according to the measurement. 44 divided by 4 says 11 inches. This is my 11 inches. I will mark it down here and add my 1 inch down here. So since this gown is a pencil gown, it's not a straight gown, I'll be coming down here. Since I have my 11 inches here, I won't be using 11 inches. Around this side, this is my 11 inches. I'll be taking 1.5 inches because my material is not a stretchy one, it's a bit stiff. If it's a stretchy one, I'll be taking 2 inches inward. So now I'll be using 1.5 inches down here. From this 1.5 inches, I'll have 9.5. So down my 9.5, I'll take it down here, and around the hemming as well, I'll take my 9.5 inches. And then I'll put my 1 inch to close my seam, so you can see. Then I'll fold my material up this way and mark out, you can see, and then I'll mark my 1.5 inches. This is my 1.5 inches up here, you can see. I'll fold. This is my 1.5 inches. This is it here, and this is it up here. And then if you have to, you don't have a problem, you pin it down, since you're using a pattern first to cut out the material so everything comes out equal. Then after folding this, I'll take my tape again and measure my 9.5 inches here, and then add my 1 inch, in total of 10.5 inches. So I'll come to my waist and my hip line and curve it very well so it looks nice on my body. So you see, like so. See, it's coming out real nice. Then I'll come down a bit around here with the curve to connect and move a bit with it, and then take my ruler to complete it down here. So you see, I already have the downside. I have the downside of this gown. It looks like a skirt. So I'll be cutting this out. So you see what it looks like. You see? Now we have achieved the bottom side of our skirt, of our gown, that looks like the skirt. Coming from our half length, we'll come down here. Our dart line says 7 inches. We're not going to be placing our 7 inches direct. We'll make it 4 inches. You can see. Can you see? Or rather, with the measurement of this person I have here, I don't think 7 inches is even good. I think it's better off using 8 inches for this person. So I'd rather use 4.5 inches around this corner. So when I mark half, can you see, I'll still achieve my 4 inches to relate with the line coming from the upside of the person. So around here, I will take my 5 inches dart length. Because of the hip, it's a big one. Then I'll take my 4.5 inches here, as well up here, and then I'll rule. This is my half at this angle. I will take another half at this angle as well, and then connect to meet here. This is it. I'll connect to meet here. See? And then the same thing happens here. Can you see? So when you pick here, it's giving you, the meaning will be giving you your 4 inches. Then with this one aside, that's it. We're here to achieve the upside on how to connect our bustier line to the downside of our dart, so that our work will be looking neat whenever we do that. So this upper side will be having a shoulder. Our half length says 16.5. This is our 16.5. We'll mark it and then rule a line. This is it. Rule line. Now up here, this is our, around here, which is our length, this is our full length here. We'll come to this place and take our shoulder measurement. It says 16 into 2 is giving us 8 inches. We'll just put it direct because it's an armless direct shoulder gown. So around here, we take our shoulder slant of 1.5 inches and then connect to the neck point, to the center point of this half length. So you see, this is the center point. Then I will take my neck measurement. I am doing it here 3 by 3 inches because it's an English gown. Then I'll take my curve and curve the neck. Can you see? You curve it carefully so you don't have a very deep neck. Can you see what it looks like? Then you notice that when you come down to this place where you have your neck point, this is more like where your measurement is starting from now. When you wear your clothes, all of us know that our shoulders are slant, see, and some people use 1 inch, some people use 1.5 inch. The purpose of making, after taking your 1.5, then you slant to the center back of your neck, is so when you finish cutting this, your measurement here will be straight and not falling in another shape. So from this point of our neck, this is more like where our measurement is coming. You find that I'm no longer having 16.5 as my measurement. It's now 16 because half has gone off here. Now, since my measurement is 16.5, I will have my standard 16.5 with me, add my half to hold my shoulder, and my half to hold the half length line. Can you see? Can you see everything in total here? It's giving me 1.5. So I will mark my 1.5 like this. So when I finish sewing, my half length will fall directly at 16.5 inches, no less, and nothing added. Let me take that again. After your shoulder slant from your neck, your center of your neck, you roll it down to your 1.5 inches shoulder slant. You take your neck measurement. Because this is an English gown, I won't be taking a wide neck measurement. I took 3 by 3 inches. So from the point of down my 3 inches, I'm taking down. You see, 1/2 inch has gone off, which is what is happening here. I will be adding my 1/2 inch to meet up with my standard measurement. Extra half to hold my shoulder and half to hold the skirt part of this gown to meet up with the upper side to complete a full gown. Then around this point, I will be taking my bust line, which is 11. This is my bust line here, and then I will rule this 11 here. This is my bust line, sorry, and then I will rule. So you see, and then I will take my armhole measurement. It's an armless clothes. I don't need the armhole to be too deep, so I'll be taking my armhole at 7.5 inches. So this will be my armhole. So you see, then my shoulder set is, that's 16 inches. I will mark it down to my armhole and then connect it to the shoulder point. So you see, then I'll come down to my armhole and take my 5 inches. Around these 5 inches, I didn't bring this armhole extra because at the end I will still trim down. I don't want it excess. Around this armhole, I will take out 1.5 inches around here because I'm doing a princess dart bustier. So this is it here. Here I'm leaving this 1.5 inches. Around here I will be taking 1 inch. Look at it carefully. Here around the downside I will be taking my 1.5 inches, and here I will be taking 1 inch. So from here I will connect to meet this one. So around this angle, let me cut this off so I won't be having excess here. So here we're going to manipulate that carefully, but before that we'll be taking our measurements. This at the bust side said 38 inches. I think that will be giving us 9.5 when we divide by 4. Yes, this is what is giving us 9.5 inches. Then we add our darts that will be going off, the one to join, and then our 1.5 inches to sew. Then this is our waistline. Our waistline says 34 divided into 4. That will be giving us 8.5 inches. The same thing we'll do here. Oh, before I forget, around here, for those of you who have issues with under bust measurements, here I will be taking my nipple point, which is 10.5, and then as well I'll be taking my under bust that is giving me 14. So I will rule here, and this is my nipple point. So let me explain this to you. Your armhole line slash chest line, your nipple point, your bust line, your under bust, and your waist. Here is also your waist, plus your sewing allowance around the upside. So this is it. We have taken our nipple point here. This is it here, and this is our under bust as well. Then I've taken my waist measurements, that's 8.5. I will come here and take 2 inches here, 1 inch for the front side and 1 inch for the outer side. This is my 2 inches, an extra 1 inch, and then 1.5 inch. This extra 1 inch is to hold back the dart, and 1.5 to sew. Then around the under bust, this is my waistline as well, and this is my under bust. This is my bust line, this is my nipple point line, and this is my armhole / chest line. You can also have your chest line as well around here. This is depending on how, if you're doing what they call it, an off shoulder, the chest line can also come around here. So that's it. Then around the under bust, our under bust says 35, and right, I think it's direct 35 we have here for around under bust. Our under bust will take around the under bust line. This is it. That's where it falls. It's giving us 8¾ This is it here. We take 2 inches to take off. No, we're taking 2.5 inches, our 1 inch and our 1.5 inches. Can you see? Then we'll connect carefully to make the bust. Can you see? So around that angle, can you see? It's looking kind of rough. Let me adjust that. Don't mind me, I'm used to freehand. So here, to achieve our bust line, to connect with our dart, the person's nipple point says 8. This is our 8, which is going to correspond with this down here. When we're through, we'll mark our 4 inches plus half to hold each edges. Then extra 1 inch to it. This 1 inch helps us when we take our 1 inch out of the box of that front. When we hold this ½ inch, it will still remain for us to have our 4 inches. In total of what we have here is 5.5 inches. So we take it up like this. Can you see? And then we'll connect this way. Can you see? So here's our under bust and here is our nipple point. And then around here, the armhole corner, we take ½ inch up, ½ inch down. Then we'll come to this bottom side and roll. There's a tape edge. We'll come to the waistline here and take 1.5 inches that we added here and 1 inch here. We'll come to this down and take 1 inch as well and take another 1 inch as well. That was why we have our 2 inches here, then our 1 inch dart to join. So this is it. We have here to connect and then here straight. So when you check this, you see that what we're having is 4.5 inches. So when I hold back this ½ inch, it's giving me 4. Can you see? So this is it. My under bust says this. My waistline says 1 inch. Sorry, around this angle. So connect this to meet this guy here. Can you see? And then under here says 1 inch. Here. I have our 1 inch here. And this is our nipple point. So I'm going to connect this carefully to meet the nipple point and then go down to this point here. Can you see it? This is how it's going to be. And then this other one will be coming this way. This is our under bust to meet nipple point to meet the under bust. Can you see? Be carefully connected. Here is meant to be full, and then we'll come to this place and connect to meet this ½ inch here. Can you see? To meet our nipple point and then connect. Can you see? So everything is looking relaxed. And then around this side, we'll connect carefully with our curve here. The reason why this one is longer is when you're sewing, you find out that this one is shorter than this one. So we have to reduce this one and make this one longer instead, so that when you're sewing, they correspond real good. So this is it. So can you see? Very simple for you to cut your princess dart bustier. And after sewing, your line connects with the downside of the skirt when you're of the gown, so it makes everything comes out very perfect. You could be saying this open here is too much when the person finishes sewing. My dear, it's not too much. When you finish sewing, you realize that everything climbed perfectly from the under bust, meeting your bust point, and then to your armhole when you connect real good. Because after sewing, you will be deleting all these measurements here. You see, everything will go off. That's it. Then we'll be cutting this out. And you see, we'll cut this out carefully around here. Then we cut out to make the underbust out. Then we'll cut this as well. This is one easy method to make your princess dart, even your regular bustier, to meet with your downside of your gown to correspond with the dart. Okay, since we have cut this out, we'll be placing on our material. This method is a very easy method, so just stay tuned so you can see our next video on how to cut out this on the material and bring this out to what the real finishing will look like. Don't forget to like this video, because deep inside of you see that this video has really helped you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, so once the video comes in, you'll be able to get notified and go through it and learn new things. And also follow our Facebook page, CuteLuks, so that you'll be able to have videos on new ideas, new styles, pictures are there. And then you see, easy and well curved. So when you're connecting this one here, let me take out, I'm not taking this off because we've not joined. I'll be taking off the neck. It's meant to be small, and then notch this middle so that when we are sewing, the same thing you do to the bottom side of this, you notch the middle. And you see, so when you open this and join this, when you're sewing, you see even this one is longer, it will still come closer. Can you see? All you need to do is trim that 1.5 inches inside and cover out your armhole real good. Can you see? Depending on the length of armhole you want, then you cover out, but the underbust is still relatively fine, and your dart is still coming out real good where it's supposed to be. See, this is it. Can you see? So when you take your 1/2 inch off, you still have your 4 inches. Can you see what we have here? We are having our 4.5. So when we take our half off, we are relating, and everything will just come out perfectly nice. So with this method, you don't have issues on how to connect your dart points anymore. When it gets to the back side, the 16.5 inches you have at the front side, you'll be placing 16 inches at the back, because the front side is always longer than the back. In our next video, where I'll be cutting the material of this out and then sewing it for you to see, I will explain to you how the back is meant to relax so you don't have zip bulge, and how this will look like after making it. Because we're supposed to stay the front side, turn the facing of this material, and then join our dart, weave it, hem it, iron it out, and then show you what the finishing looks like. Alright, thank you guys for joining us. Still, don't forget to like this video, follow us on our Facebook channel, CuteLuks, and then don't forget to hit the notification bell and subscribe to this channel so you always get good videos at your reach. Thank you guys. Bye.